Hey guys, it's Iris here with another video, and I am super excited to talk to you about this video because I am going to reveal some money mentality and money secrets in general about the Chinese, about the Jews, about us and the Western world that we don't practice, that they do practice, and why they are so successful at honestly whatever it is that they do. Today we are wealth building, and we are wealth building our minds. Have you ever wondered why it is the Chinese are taking over the world, or why the Jews run the world, right? These are people that are extremely abundant, and just about any business that they open pretty much thrives. And so I actually came across an amazing video. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I came across this amazing video from a wonderful coach named Lain. He's actually from Spain, and I will link the video below. And basically he did the dirty work for me. He basically piled up all this information, all these facts, because what I'm about to read are facts, and he said them in Spanish, so I am actually translating them in English for you guys. And I am super excited to share some information because these are things that we kind of know, but we don't quite know. All right, so let's get started. Starting with, first and foremost, money can be a blessing, but money is also and can be also a tragedy. Because what money does is that it's a tool for self-expression. The more money you have, the more you can self-express to who you really are. In other words, if you're an asshole while you're poor and you get money, you're gonna be an asshole even more while you have money. If you're a kind-hearted person, well, the same thing applies to when you have money. The problem with kind-hearted people, though, is that they tend to give money away very easily. Open-hearted people and kind-hearted people actually tend to have low boundaries when it comes to many things, and one of those things is money. So keep that in mind. For the Jews and the Chinese, being a business owner is not just a blessing, but it's a necessity. Let that sink in for a second. Being a business owner is not just a blessing, is a necessity. Both societies, if you probably haven't noticed, they all come from a business owning mentality. Poor mindset people, when they see others thrive, they always find a way to criticize the people that are prospering. When we say things such as the Jews run the world, the Chinese are taking over, they're taking over our businesses, they're taking over our space, that is actually coming from a poor mindset mentality, because it actually goes against the laws of abundance, which states that abundance is truly everywhere and is attainable in every place in this planet. In our Western society, including the minority, especially African Americans, Latin Americans, we value luxury over financial freedom. We go to school, we get our degrees, and we immediately get a job and start working for somebody else. We take out a loan for a house, which is how we pay for the luxury, and then we become slaves to our job, slaves to the bank, but yet we attain immediate luxury. On the other hand, the Chinese, they go to school, they get their degree, and immediately they usually want to open up a business. In the Western world, young people want to go and get cars right away, which means that they have to take out a loan to pay for the car, and so they can go out with their friends and party. This type of behavior, which I was actually a victim to, I don't think I'm a victim, but you know what I'm saying. This forces them to become employees and work for somebody else. And also it forces them to pay the bank. So again, you're already starting to become a slave at a very young age. It's like something that becomes ingrained in us at a very young age, that we have to work for somebody else, and then you have to become a slave to your bills already with that car. Same thing happens with a house. We usually want to get a house right away, usually with very little money, if anything, and then we get ourselves into a mortgage with a high interest, which makes us pay pretty much double once again. And if things go haywire with our employment and we may lose our house or we get our car repo, we actually tend to blame the bank, saying, or the dealership, or whoever lent you, or our realtor, saying that they did not tell you exactly what the rules were when it comes to accessing your money and your finances. We say things as the bank lied to us. We are the victims of a flawed system. The reality is that you were the one that took out the loan. You were the one that put yourself in that position. Therefore, it is your responsibility to learn how to manage your finances. It is not the bank's. We have a tendency to blame others so we don't take full responsibility for our actions. With the Chinese, when a kid goes to their parents and they say, "Mom, I want to open up a business," the entire family and pretty much the community gets together and they actually lend money to this child, this new business owner to be interest-free, to fully support his process and his financial freedom. This is actually seen as a gift of financial freedom, which he actually has to pay back. And hear this, if he or she doesn't pay back that loan, they become completely shunned in the community and they can never do business again. The same goes for the Jews. In the Western world, we are actually taught to never lend money to our friends because they will lose the money and you will lose your friend. Because we are culturally not business oriented and we are not connected. This means that there are no consequences for people that misuse money. As opposed into the Jewish community and in the Chinese community, there are consequences if you don't know how to use your money. This is actually seen all the time when friends betray each other in a group, in a circle, right? When two friends betray each other, the one that actually betrayed the other friend, in this Western society, we don't really hold consequences for that. In other words, we don't shun them. The group may break apart, but friends always say, well, he didn't do the damage to me. He's a good friend to me. He's been okay with me, so I'm not going to get involved. And there are no consequences for when people act inappropriate. And it could be any form of betrayal, including money. So this is part of the reason why we don't thrive, because there is no real consequence on what happens when you misuse money. Therefore, we don't value money. With the Chinese and the Jews, if this happens, they will never be able to do business in that community ever again. And you know what they say? If you cannot thrive in your community, most likely you may not thrive elsewhere, especially a tight-knit community such as the Chinese and the Jews. Therefore, it becomes a necessity. This actually forces the individual to value themselves and prosper. And this is kind of where we all fuck up as a society, because in the Western world, we value Netflix, we value going out, we value our entertainment, but we can be using that precious time to actually learn more about money mentality. I understand finances is something that scares people, and in a way, in the Western world, it was actually created that way. They use terminology that is very intimidating to the regular folk. But the reality is that it's really not as hard as you think, and we first have to start with money mentality, which are money habits, healthy money habits. Imagine if we actually take the time to learn about healthy money habits. The Jews have the study of money, business, and finances as part of their religion. So imagine that. Their tendency is not just to preserve their wealth, but to multiply their wealth. So let me put it to you this way. We already know that most Jews, or if not all Jews, have money. So their purpose is not just to preserve the money, but to really multiply it. Just let that sink in for a second. That means that they are constantly learning on how to up-level their game, on how to be wealthy, which means that they're also learning on their money mentality, not just on business and not just investing. And so the real reason why Jews have the real reason why Jews are so successful with money is really because they've been persecuted for all these years. They've been persecuted for thousands of years. So the need to prosper, the need to not be persecuted, and in this physical world, that need is to have money, has forced them to really develop themselves and really understand and learn about this energy and about this study, this task, this game, which has also led them to also be closer and closer as a community, which then they use each other to pull each other up. Also, the Jews have the rule of 3. That rule consists of 1/3 of their money goes into investing in property, 1/3 goes into investing in a business, and then 1/3 goes to having liquid assets, which is cash. In the Western world, not the Americans, not the Latin Americans, and not the African Americans implement such rule. And another fun fact is that there are over 2,000 articles in the Bible that talk about money and finances. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a big churchgoer, but pretty much all the times I've gone to church, they've never talked about finances and money. We need to start having an open conversation about money. Here are the Western views of success: to have a house, to have a car, and have it all on credit. When somebody has their house and somebody has their car, in the Western world feels like the ultimate success and the ultimate thing, especially if they're doing it in their 20s. What people don't understand is that when you do that, you are already a slave to your job and a slave to the bank. And you end up taking vacations to escape your reality and then go back into the same system. So of course, vacations and traveling become precious. But then you put all that vacation on credit and go back to the same cycle all over again. On the other hand, when a Chinese business owner starts their business, they already know that they're in for a sacrifice in order to prosper, because they have to, no matter what, pay back that loan, or else they would never be able to do business again. That does not happen in America. There are no real consequences if you fuck up with your money, except you have bad credit. They do what is called short-term sacrifices. This means that they save up to 90% of their earnings, and they also do such sacrifices as living in confined spaces with other people. It could be even 7 people, it could be roommates, just so they can cut the cost of living. And these sacrifices are pretty much done for the first 5 years of their business, all to build capital. In the Western world, we are not open to that level of sacrifice at all. We are not willing to lower our standard of living in order to come up in the world with a strategy. Something as simple as downgrading your car, we are really not willing to do because we are so worried about what other people are going to think. Some go as far as developing more than one business. And when they develop more than one business and feel stable enough that those businesses run themselves, that is when they go and they start to purchase their luxury with their money. This is why it's so important for you guys to learn about money mentality and the rules of money. Stop pretending to have luxury. Build your self-esteem so you can stop caring about what other people think. If you are afraid of money or afraid of talking about money, that means that you carry shame in your system. Work on your shame and work on your money blocks so you can then develop yourself and live out your purpose. Own your weird and be the black sheep. True wealth and true money doesn't come from just having a good job. True wealth comes from actually living out your purpose, because money becomes the result of everything that you give back to the world. And there you have it, guys. These are amazing facts about money that I'm sure a lot of you didn't know. And, we love to make fun of the people that do these weird, crazy sacrifices in order to move up in the world. It's so important for us to just cut the bullshit and learn on what it means to have a better money mentality. And not only that, but that really does better your self-esteem, and that actually opens you up to the ideas and your life purpose of what you should really be doing in this life. And so get out of your head, get out there and learn about money. Guys, if you find this video helpful, please give me a like, a share, and a subscribe, and leave any comments below. If you want to learn more about me, you're more than welcome to Instagram or Facebook, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!